how do you reflect? Is it by going for a walk? Do you sit and journal on it? Like, how do you pull those out, extract those even further to reflect?
Yes.
All of the
Whatever
above.
works for you. Yeah, whatever works. Try different things. For me personally, it's a combination. Uh, I find the most useful is when I'm sitting at a blank text file and I open it up and I just either do stream of consciousness or start with a question like, um, where should I be living right now? Um, or what should I do about this situation that I'm wrestling with? And then I'll just type. My fingers will just fly. I'll say, I won't let myself stop at one or even two options. I make myself keep going. So, what am I going to do about this current situation I'm in? I could do A. Da 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 da. A has this benefits. A could be good for this. Yes, in fact, I think A might be the answer. But wait, I'm not going to stop there. What if I did B? Hmm. B would be a weird choice. Never done B before, but I hear it's good. I know some people to do that. That might be a nice change. Okay, I'm not going to stop there. Let's see, what else could I do? Maybe C. In fact, I have kind of done C before, haven't I? Yeah, if you look at it through, if you squint, C is the kind of thing I did 10 years ago when I such and such, and I was really glad that I did that. Let me write about that for wow. C is really appealing now that I think about it. What else? D. I could do D. It's like no, D sucks. I don't want to do that. E. I'll just sit for an hour or two, just thinking, and then when you hit some kind of exhaustion point, and you feel like, all right, I'm all thunk out, then yeah, I may go for a walk. Maybe it's instantly, or maybe it's not. Maybe that's like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. My kid's coming home from school, and so that's that. The deadline has hit. But then the next morning, uh, I'll go for a long walk, and I'll think about those things that I was writing about in the journal yesterday. Um, yeah, it's really just whatever works for you, but just give it the time. Um, it really helps to shut off your phone, even shut off your computer, shut off your internet, because you don't want to get into the journaling process of like, ooh, what about B? Let me just go search the web for B. Oh, what's this funny cat video? Like we all have this tendency to, I won't even say cat video because um, we all know that cat videos are a completely obvious distraction. You know that you're distracted. But it may just be that while you're searching the web for some thing that passed through your head, you'll fall down some rabbit hole that you'll think is useful,
Yeah.
but is actually a distraction from um, the reflection you need to be doing. So I usually make a point of making sure I'm disconnected from the internet when I'm reflecting so that I keep going with my own thoughts. So that even if I say, like, ooh, I want to look more into that, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just, yeah, yes, I want to look more into that, but I won't do it now.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that as like, yeah, I should look more into that later, but keep going, keep reflecting. That's what you're really doing here.
I think that's
Does
really
that help?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about it from like if you're writing a book, you don't you don't edit it while you're writing. You write it, put all the
Mm,
crap down, and then you edit later, right? It's kind of the same concept. Just put it down, answer it, and then come back and look at it later and figure out what the best answer. That's at least how I was kind of compartmentalizing what you said. It seems like just get it,
yeah.
then we can reflect even more. You can't reflect if it's not,
Yeah.
you know?
And then there, you got to know what works best for you. Um, Many people advise that once you have an idea, you should take action on that idea right away. Um, Go make that phone call. Go fill out that application. Go um, post that help wanted ad or whatever it may be. Do that right away. Take action in the moment. That's kind of the Tony Robbins gives that advice a lot. But because I was talking about reflecting and pushing through to not just A and B, but C, D, and E, um, there have been a few times that I think I acted too soon on an idea that was the wrong idea. But now I had started down that path. But it wasn't till a month or two or 10 later that I realized that I should have maybe thought of some more options before I took action on the first thing that came to mind. So you've got to just know this about yourself. Lately, I've found more benefit in delaying action for a while to keep thinking of other options. And only after it's digested and sat with me for a bit, then I think, you know what? Option D is actually, I think this is the one that it passes my test. It's happy. It makes me happy. It's smart. It's useful to others. I think this is the way to go. And then when I feel like, yes, this is it, then I take the massive action instead of at the moment I had the idea.
Yeah.
But that's for me personally at this stage of my life right now. I'm sure
Right.
there were other times in the past that the correct strategy, especially if you have a problem with procrastination or just making something happen, is to jump in and take action right away. The other benefit of taking action right away is it helps you see if it was the wrong idea. Or
Right.
then you could argue that it's better to just do something instead of nothing. I thought for a long time that I wanted a motorhome, an RV. And so my kid said, let's get an RV. I said, yeah, let's get an RV. So I bought an RV. And after 1 week in the RV, I was like, oh, God. No, actually, sorry. I had rented one before for a week and I thought it was pretty cool. That's why we said, let's get one. So I bought one. And it was more like in the second week, I was like, God, this really sucks for reasons that I didn't know about till I was actually in it. Namely, that my kid would sit in the back seat and the diesel engine of that RV was so loud that I couldn't hear what he was saying. So I used to love our long road trips together because we'd drive for hours in my car, my quiet car, and we would talk the whole time. And that was half the fun of the road trips. But suddenly in this RV with a loud diesel engine, it was too loud for us to talk. So I could not have predicted that until I was actually sitting in the seat of an actual RV for more than a week going, God, I really miss talking. We're just sitting here silently. He's just staring at a book while I drive. This
Yeah.
sucks. So yeah, sometimes you just have to jump in and try the thing you think you want, even if it's just to find out that you don't actually want that.